Hey, badass business owners. If you're like me, I hate it when folks lie to me, when they mislead me, they take me for being stupid, or whatever the case may be. So lying is a big hot button for me. And I think it's safe to say that when you think about the customers and clients that you help, one of the things that they go into a relationship with you is they want to trust you, but there's something at the back of their head that makes people mistrusting of different people. And if you don't believe me, just think about if you have to take your car to a mechanic. What's the first thing that you think about? Oh man, are they going to try to rip me off? Are they going to try to tell me what they will do without me needing it, kind of a thing? I know that happened to me one time when I took my truck in. Came back, I went in for a flat tire and I came back out and they're like, well, you need this, $2,000. And I'm like, do I look stupid? I needed a flat tire fix. Fix the flat tire. And I've never been back since. It's just, they lost my business right then and there due to lying to me. Now, did I probably need the work? Probably. But it was the way they went about it that was really just dirty and felt dirty. And I'm not the only person, because that particular business gets a lot of feedback from people about how they handle things. So today, what I wanted to do is I wanted to share a couple of different business owners that I work with, that I coach, that have built their business off of being honest, and how much of a difference that it makes. And it was really weird because this is very last minute, because I just actually ran into one of them and we were talking about his business in the future and how he's grown it, and how I think anybody that's trying to grow a business, especially in a small town, can do amazing business. And what he's built his business on is by being honest. He happens to do windows, and it's not uncommon for him to get called into a home to say, hey, I think I need to redo my windows, or somebody told me I needed to replace my windows, or I was going to sell my house and they said my windows are bad, or I bought my house and my windows are bad, or whatever the case may be. And he's the type of person that will go in and say, no, your windows are fine. Your windows are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, and you probably have got several more years out of your windows. But when you do have a problem with one of them, give me a call. He doesn't go in there trying to change every window in that particular house. He's there to fix a particular window. He's definitely going to do that. But it's all been about honesty. And if you knew the man, you would know that he's going to say it bluntly and he's going to tell you exactly what he thinks, but he's always going to be honest. And he's that way with his people and with his customers as well. And it shows, because he has built a wonderful business in our community, and people know that he's going to give an honest opinion. Now, it made me really think about somebody I was talking to yesterday, also in our community, that is the exact same way. When he gets called, he gets told, hey, this is wrong. And he's very honest with the person. If the person has been told by other people that they have to have thousands of dollars of work or hundreds of dollars of work, he's like, no, you just need to have this fixed. He's very honest with them. And he's a plumber. And you know what? People always think and assume a plumber's going to rip them off. And my guy, that's not what he's doing either. His whole goal is to give you exactly what it is that you need, and not try to oversell you, and not try to give you something that you don't need. And it throws people off. I think about the landscaper that I'm working with as well. He's the exact same way. He's not going to sell you something that it is that you don't need. And to me, when I think about the businesses that I tend to trust and I tend to recommend on a regular basis, the thing that they all have in common is that spirit of honesty and integrity. And they have built their business on this integrity. They are all known for being honest with you and not trying to oversell you and not trying to sell you something that you don't want. And I want you to think about your business. Is this something that you have done in your particular business? Do you have part of your branding, if you will, that when people think about you, because remember, branding is what other people think about your business. What you're trying to market your business as is one thing, but what the community says it is something different. So if you sit there and you say that you're the honest electrician or the honest handyman, and yet you've been caught not being honest, you're going to tank your reputation, and your brand is going to be anything but being honest. But if you go in and you give a fair and honest quote, I'm not saying be the cheapest quote. I said a fair and honest quote for what it is that you do. And you're not trying to sell them something that they don't need. Now, there's nothing wrong with you making upsells and suggesting stuff, saying, hey, you don't quite need this yet, but if you want, since I'm already here, I can do A, B, or C. That's different, because that's not trying to push something that somebody doesn't need. And that's where the mistake comes in. A lot of times people are really pushy. They're overzealous. They constantly call. They follow up all the time. And it's just like, get off me for a minute. Quit being so salesy. And the reality is if they would have built that business off of the honesty and the integrity side of it, then it's not going to come across as salesy and preachy and all that other stuff. Plus, when people get online and they start talking about the business, they're going to be using adjectives like going, oh my God, they were so honest. You've got to use so-and-so. Oh, John was amazing. He was so honest and he totally didn't rib me off. And I felt like I got a fair price and I got an honest quote or whatever the case may be. That's the kind of business that you want to build for yourself. And I've seen it over and over. And when I think about the businesses that have gone from just being average and okay to ones that really knock it out the park and they constantly grow, and every year you see that growth from one year to the next, and people go, oh, what's your special sauce? What's your secret sauce? They're almost always going to tell you that they just try to be honest with people. So I want to challenge you to ask yourself, what are you doing and how are you promoting the fact that you are the honest individual? And like I said, it's not about putting it on your documents that you put out, not on your advertising and all that. It's your communication when you're in the home. But there's ways that you can communicate that. Like I was saying with the glass guy, what he was doing, he was just saying, look, you don't need to replace all these windows, but give me a call when you do have a problem. So he's basically letting people know that, hey, I'm not trying to sell you something that you don't need, but I would love to still have your business and I hope you keep me in mind. And that resonates and that stays with those people. And I know every time that somebody's done that with me, go back to the beginning when I talked about my truck. I went to a different mechanic for something else. And that mechanic said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and fix whatever. And when I came back to pick up the car, they said, hey, I just want to let you know, it's about time that you go ahead and get these things done with your tires. And, it just sounded 10 times better. And I was more willing to listen to what he had to say. And guess what? He got the business because I set up my truck to be able to get the things done to the tires with him that I needed to get done because it was promoted to me in a completely different way. It wasn't like he kind of baited and switched me and said, hey, I fixed this, but by the way, before you leave, I have to fix this. Now I understand a tire place has to keep you off the road if your tires are going to blow up and all that other good stuff. But I wasn't near that place and nor did he need to do that. He was just very honest with me and said, hey, you probably want to get this done in the next few months based off of what I'm seeing. So there was no pressure. There was nothing else. It was just, hey, this is what I've seen and this is what you could do. So once again, I don't want to keep going on and on about this, but I think it's a very important lesson that as you build your business, step back and ask yourself, when it comes to honesty and integrity with your community, what would those be words that automatically flow out of their mouth when they talk about your business, when they talk about your employees, if you have employees? Because it's one thing if you are honest and have high integrity, but if your employees are kind of doing some bait switches and doing some weird scammy stuff without your knowledge, that's not going to be the reputation that you have. So once again, you've got to make sure that this is a thread that you have with all of your employees and they all feel the exact same way that you do. So it's just something for you to really step back and for you to really think about and ask yourself, what is your business's integrity meter, if you will, out in the community? And I promise you, if you're not doing it, just really start working on that one piece right there. It's going to really help you grow your business year after year after year. I've watched it with so many small business owners that I coach, not just locally. When I'm talking to people, from other areas and different locations and whatnot. That's a theme that I hear all the time when I'm looking at people that are growing and growing year over year over year, is because they really do put their customer first and they really do make sure that they operate from a place of integrity and honesty. And it really shows because they get that repeat business and they get those referrals like crazy. And that's exactly what you want for your particular business. And by the way, if you want to hear some other great stuff that people are doing, check out this video over here and it will help you grow your business as well. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.